Good morning, students. Today we are going to start very interesting chapter, that is responsibilities of a good citizen. In this chapter, we are going to learn what are responsibilities of a good citizen. Don't you want to know what are our responsibilities being a good citizen of India? Yes, we are good citizens of India right now, as we are following the orders of our government by staying safe at our homes. Now, shall we start with the chapter? The first topic here is private and the public property. But we should know what is a property. Property is something like land, building, schools, hospitals, valuable things, road, bridges, houses, cars, etc. that is owned by someone, a person or a government.
Property is anything that is owned by a person, a group of persons, or government. Houses, vehicles, farmlands, historical buildings, trains, and post offices are all properties.
Read along with me. This is page number 29. The property owned by a person or his family is called private property. The owner of a private property has right over it. The protection of a private property is owner's responsibility. Our belongings like our books, clothes, or houses come under private property. So children, through this paragraph, it is clearly stated that what is a private property. Private property is a property that is owned by a person or his family. For example, your house is your private property. Your car is also your private property. Your books, copies, etc. Going to next paragraph. The property owned by public in general is called public property. Every citizen has right over it. The protection of a, here it is written private property, make it public property. It is misprinting. The protection of a public property is every citizen's responsibilities. Buses, trains, roads, park, and hospital belong to each one of us. They are public property. So here we get to know what is a public property. In simple word, I can tell that public property is a property that is owned by every citizen. For example, public buses, trains, roads, parks, etc.
Private property is property owned by an individual or a group of individuals. For example, furniture, car, house, land, and jewelry are all private properties because they are owned by a single individual or a group of individuals. The owner of a private property can exchange, sell, or even destroy his property. Public property. Public property is property owned by the government. Such property is meant for the welfare of the people. It is available for public use. All people of the country have equal right to use it. Public parks, trains, post offices, roads, public schools, public colleges, and government hospitals are all public properties.
Going to the next topic on the same page, that is protection of public property. It is one of our fundamental duties to protect public property. We should protect public property as it belongs to the entire nation. If we lose a private property, we alone have to suffer. But if there is damage to public property, the entire nation suffers. So children, here it is clearly said that it is one of our fundamental duties to protect public properties. And where these duties are written? These duties are written in our Constitution that tells us that we have to protect this public property as it does not belong to one, but it belongs to entire nation. If a private property is damaged, only one has to suffer. But if a public property is damaged, the entire nation suffers.
Conservation of property. People should take care of property. People should invest their money in properties that can give better returns. People should not harm or deface public property. It is their responsibility to protect and preserve them.
Coming to the next page, page number 30. To look after school property. There may be private school or government schools. A school belongs to all the students and people in the school. Everyone should be careful about school property. Therefore, it is our duty to protect school property. Children, school is not only a building or a place, but a school is made by every student, teacher, parent, and its staff member. Therefore, again, it comes to our responsibility to take care of school. Not to damage school property is our responsibility. Not to scribble on the tables or chairs. The next topic says, to look after monument. Monuments too belong to all of us. They are the heritage of all Indians. India has number of historical monuments such as the Taj Mahal, the Red Fort, the Qutub Minar, temples, churches, mosques, gurudwaras, etc. These monuments were built centuries ago. Every year, thousands of tourists visit these monuments. The Archaeological Survey of India has the responsibility to protect our heritage monuments, but it too finds it difficult to prevent people from scribbling or writing on monument. It is our duty as responsible citizens to protect these monuments. So children, through this paragraph we get to know that to look after monument is taking care of Indian heritage. India is known for its heritage and culture. The number one monument of the 7 wonders of world belongs to us only. That is Taj Mahal. Coming to the last topic of the chapter, Other Kinds of Public Property. There are many other kinds of public property such as libraries, museums, government offices, panchayat buildings, telephone booth, electric pole, ration shops, etc. Any damage to these will put many people to inconvenience. Therefore, as good and responsible citizen, it is our duty to look after public property. So, by this paragraph, we come to the end of the chapter and we get to know what are our responsibilities, duties, and how we can take care of our country.
Public properties like parks, hospitals, roads, railway stations, etc. are for public welfare. They provide comfort and convenience to the public. Some public properties, like historical monuments, showcase the glorious history of a country. They are the pride of a nation. Let us summarize what we have learned. Property is anything that is owned by a person, a group of persons, or government. Private property is owned by an individual or a group of individuals. Public property is owned by government. Public property is for public use and welfare. We must preserve and protect property.